a lot of people have been making parallels with the Second World War during this coronavirus thing, and you've got to be careful with those. They can be inexact. But there's one way in which I think the parallel works strongly, and it's this. In 1945, people had become habituated to a much larger role for the state than would have seemed possible in 1940. And people came to expect government intrusions, indeed to demand them, in a way that didn't happen, if you like, in the other Anglosphere countries that were not so heavily impacted by the full mobilization. And a consequence of that is that powers that the state had seized on a supposedly contingent emergency basis to defeat the Nazis ended up not being handed back when the emergency had passed. So we had identity cards until 1952, food rationing until 1954, full military conscription until 1960. And then when it came to the economic controls that had been put in place in the first half of the 1940s, they were in place in most cases until the 1980s. In some cases, they're still with us, right? That's the really dangerous parallel, that people are now expecting a much stronger role for the state going forward. And it wasn't just the Second World War that bankrupted us, it was the insistence on maintaining it afterwards